Google had humble beginnings as a search engine, but today, Google is literally everywhere. And right now, Google created a new AI, which Google wants you to call it Pathways, and this one happens to be a next-generation artificial intelligence architecture. But the question still remains, will it be so advanced that it will replace human jobs? Well, that's exactly what I will be discussing in this video. But before I begin, my name is Alex, and welcome to AI News Daily. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications because I don't want you to miss out on any of the artificial intelligence-related content that I make for you guys. With all that done, let's get started. The machine learning systems that we have today always specialize in a single task. But the truth is that these machine learning systems are capable of doing a lot more things than they were originally designed to do, and that's exactly why Google decided to build Pathways, which happens to be a new artificial intelligence architecture. Pathways will handle so many tasks all at once, learn new tasks quickly, and also reflect a better understanding of the world. But what exactly is with this different approach of Google with artificial intelligence? Well, you could say that Google's Pathways is a new way of thinking about artificial intelligence that addresses so many weaknesses of the existing systems while also improving on their strengths. According to Google, the way we train our machine learning algorithm is not the right way because, to put things into perspective, every time when you learn a new skill, whether it be dancing or jumping rope, you will need to forget everything else that you learned, like the language you speak, the way you eat, the way you talk, and so on, all for that one new skill to be acquired. Sounds really odd, right? Well, that's exactly what's happening with the artificial intelligence systems today, because most artificial intelligence models that we have today are trained only to do one certain thing. But with Pathways, Google will be able to train a single model to do thousands or millions of things. So, Google ended up developing thousands of models for thousands of individual tasks. We all learn new things, and all of us generally rely on multiple senses to understand the world around us. And that's very different from how artificial intelligence systems learn new information. Today, we have a variety of data being generated, all thanks to the internet and the numerous devices that we own that are capable of generating massive amounts of data on a daily basis. Google is trying to use this huge data for Pathways, which will then enable multimodal models. So, Pathways can encompass vision, auditory, and language understanding all together. So, let's say that if the model is processing the word elephant, the sound of someone saying elephant, or the video of an elephant running, the same response is activated internally, which happens to be the concept of an elephant and what it is all about. This is exactly how humans learn, and Google wants the artificial intelligence algorithm to learn in a similar fashion. So, Google's end result will be an artificial intelligence model that will be more insightful and less prone to mistakes and biases. This does not mean that the artificial intelligence model should be restricted only to familiar senses. Google's Pathway could handle more abstract forms of data, which will help define useful patterns that will enable humans to decode complex systems, such as climate dynamics. So yes, Google's artificial intelligence will be enabling multiple senses apart from Pathways training a single model to do thousands or millions of things. Finally, the other problem that Pathways is trying to solve has to do with the fact that all the models that we have today are dense and inefficient. So, Google's Pathways are all about making them sparse and efficient. But what exactly do you mean by today's models being dense? Well, this means that the entire neural network activities accomplish a task, regardless of it being very simple or really complicated. The truth is, people don't approach problems that way, and we do have different parts of our brain that are associated with doing very specific tasks. But we only use certain parts of the brain for a given situation. Even though we do have more than 100 billion neurons in our brain, we only use a fraction of them to interpret this entire video that you're watching right now. So, Google wants artificial intelligence systems to work the same way by building a single model that is sparsely activated, which means that only small pathways through the network are called into action when needed. This means that Google's model will dynamically learn which parts of the network are good at what kinds of tasks, and it will also learn how to route tasks through the most relevant parts of the model. This way, Google's artificial intelligence system could be much faster and more energy efficient because you don't have to activate the entire network for every task out there. So, it's very clear to you now Google is all about solving the issue with machine learning methods with AI, which happens to be the trend of machine learning models to always specialize at individual tasks when they are capable of doing so many different kinds of tasks. The machine learning models today only rely on one form of input, which won't be the case with pathways because we learned that pathways would be able to use several senses than what humans are familiar with. Now, if you made it this far, now is the best time to subscribe to my channel to be a part of this community that genuinely appreciates AI. Back to Google. So, it makes a lot of sense for Google to build something like this because pathways will be the next step towards the advancement of artificial intelligence. Pathways will be enabling a single artificial intelligence system to generalize across thousands or millions of tasks, and pathways will also be able to understand different types of data at the same time, being very efficient. So, we no longer have to deal with single-purpose artificial intelligence models that can only recognize patterns. But general-purpose intelligence systems will have a deep understanding of our world and adapt to our ever-growing new needs. But will this become a problem, especially when artificial intelligence systems replace humans at their own workplace? Google's Pathways AI will be working just like a human brain, and to some extent, you might end up losing your job. But it's not as scary as you might think it is. Artificial intelligence systems will only replace those low-level, boring, and repetitive jobs, and the very dangerous ones. The truth about the entire automation thing is the fact that once automation systems are in place, there will be more job opportunities because artificial intelligence is not as capable as humans when it comes to making decisions, and there's a long way for artificial intelligence systems to take over everything that we do today. A lot of people are actually talking about the potential applications of artificial intelligence in a very positive way. But most people are really worried about the rise of artificial intelligence, including Elon Musk, despite Tesla being a company that deals with a lot of artificial intelligence applications. Most people take sides when it comes to discussing artificial intelligence. We have one group of people who consider artificial intelligence to be one of the most fundamental, transformative technologies that we have ever seen in the history of mankind. Then, we have the other set of people that consider this newly found transformative power to be something that we should be really scared of. Well, you can't blame anyone because people always fear the things that they don't clearly understand. The fear of artificial intelligence comes from a few common causes, like general anxiety about machine intelligence, the fear of mass unemployment, concerns about superintelligence taking over humans, and also putting the power of artificial intelligence into the wrong people's hands. These concerns are very valid. Maybe when machines get too smart, we won't be in total control of the machines that we use today, and humans really love control. Now, when it comes to our jobs being taken away by artificial intelligence, it's mostly going to be blue-collar jobs, mostly manufacturing-oriented jobs. But that will be automated anyway because of all the risks that are involved in manufacturing processes. Sure, the need for trained human workers in so many areas of the economy will go away if artificial intelligence continues to develop at this pace. The truth is, we already have the technology in place to automate about 80% of these blue-collar jobs, like cab drivers, because we already have machines that are smart enough. But again, artificial intelligence will do more good for humans than harm if things go as planned. The chances of misuse of the true potential of artificial intelligence would be something that people worry about. Right now, we just don't know where artificial intelligence is headed and how soon it will take to replace jobs because artificial intelligence still needs a lot of time to be completely matured. But again, that has always been the case with new technologies, so let's just wait and see. And that's a wrap for today's video. What do you think about the future of Google's Pathways, and what do you want me to cover next? Do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below because I would love to hear from you all. Also, consider subscribing to my channel for more artificial intelligence related content just like this one, and make sure to turn on post notifications so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video. That's about it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to smash that like button, and I will meet again in the very next one. So, stay tuned!